بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Today I have another reaction video. In this reaction video, I'm going to be reacting to, after a debate, we three friends accept Islam. My convert story to Islam. Revert story, it says. So in this video, I'm going to be reacting to a sister, and she's gonna walk us through her Revert story and how she discovered Islam and all the good stuff. So brothers and sisters, let's get to this video and see the full details. Let's get to it.
Assalamu alaikum guys, my name is Ashley. Welcome to my channel. So I thought that this was like the best time to tell my story of how I reverted to Islam. I've always been obsessed with watching these videos. I think they're fascinating. I just love to see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has literally guided people for thousands and thousands and thousands of years from all different places in the world. Like, I watch YouTube videos sometimes where people literally live in like a town of 10 people, and somehow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guided them, and it's just so beautiful to me. Okay, so all of this is going to be great, but we have to start back to the very beginning, to when I was a child and how I grew up. So my parents were always identifying as Christian, and Protestant Christian in specific, and I don't really know what that even means, to be quite honest. We never went to church. Holidays like Christmas were for gift giving and spending time with family. Easter was for hunting eggs. It was never anything to do with Jesus or anything religious, but my parents and I were always and have always been like spiritual, and we always knew that there was a creator. And for me, it has never been a question whether there was a creator. I remember growing up as a kid looking at leaves and, you know, animals, and you just look at how complex everything is and how everything literally works together to literally just be so perfect, and how if you take one thing away from that, it messes up something else. And just the thought of that, to me, really, since I was a kid, I always believed that there had to have been something that created everything. So I never questioned whether or not there was a creator. So from there, I kind of was like, okay, well, we know that we're Christian. I know that I believe in God, but I just had some questions that didn't quite make sense to me. And this was probably around high school time that I started hanging out with a friend who became pretty Christian one summer, and she just started really reading her Bible, and then she got married, and then she really got into it. And I was kind of like, okay, let me ask her some questions. And then I've asked some other people over the time, and I just kind of was like, I don't really understand the Trinity. Can you explain that to me? And every single person that I ever asked to explain the Trinity to me could not explain it. And they would always say the same thing: it's complicated. Even Christians have a hard time understanding it, and I'll do my best to explain it to you. And that to me just was like a huge red flag, because I'm like, if someone can't explain their religion to me and why they believe what they believe, and if they explain it to me and I still am just like, that doesn't make sense, or I really don't get that, that to me is like a huge red flag. Because to me, God is someone who would want you to come to him. You know, God is someone who invites you and who guides you, and it shouldn't be complicated. And I don't believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would make it complicated to come to him. And so I just had like a huge issue with that. I was like, the Trinity just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get how 3 equals 1. Like, please just help me out with some more information. So I didn't give up on Christianity. But at this point, I was kind of like, this just doesn't feel like something that I believe in. But honestly, I didn't really know any religion. I was still in high school. We never had any like classes on religion or anything like that. So I was just kind of like, I'm just like not there. And I kind of started leaning towards just like spirituality and just how I connected with earth and how I connected with people and how like my mood was, and just things like that. That to me became kind of my religion, if you will. Like, I just based things off of that, and I knew that I shouldn't kill, and all of those fundamentals, right? And I knew I shouldn't steal, and I knew I shouldn't be mean to people or hurt people or whatever it is. And I meet my best friend in the whole world. His name is Abdul, And my husband and I still turn to him for information on Islam all of the time. And it's just like an absolutely amazing relationship for the sake of Allah. And I meet him, I meet his brother, and I meet his 2 roommates who are all from Saudi Arabia. They're all Muslim, and they are more so almost perfect, the example that you need for Islam and what a Muslim should be. And they're very, very knowledgeable. And alhamdulillah, I met them because beautiful people. So I start talking to Abdul about Islam, and I start getting arrogant one day, and we're sitting in the living room, and I'm being arrogant. I'm asking all of these questions, like trying to almost disprove Islam and trying to just, I knew that I wasn't defending Christianity, but I knew that that wasn't something I wanted. I just knew I was not a Christian, but I just was like trying to disprove it, because if I'm going to believe in it, I'm going to ask you all of the questions that I need answered, and if you can't answer them, I'm obviously not going to become part of your religion. It's just not going to happen. And so every single question I asked, there was an answer. And it wasn't just there's an answer to give you an answer, it's an answer that makes total and complete sense. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. Like, I just can't even believe that you have all of the answers in your religion. And so I asked about Jesus, I asked about the Trinity, I asked about all of this, and just every single thing had an answer. So I was like, wow, this is incredible. And honestly, I remember there was this moment we were talking, and Abdul said something, and I swear it was literally like, imagine you're doing a 1,000-piece puzzle and you can't find the last piece, and you're looking around for it, and you just can't find it anywhere, and you've been searching for it for so long, and you need that piece to feel complete, and someone hands you that piece to your puzzle, that very last piece, and you put that piece in the puzzle, and all of a sudden it's complete, it's beautiful, everything is incredible. That was Islam. Literally, there was no question in my heart that that was what I was going to believe in, that I believed that there is one God, and that God is Allah, and that I believed that Prophet Muhammad is the last prophet, may peace and blessings be upon him. I just knew it. Like, it felt like it was part of me. It felt like it had always been a part of me, and that it was just like, I now knew what it was, if that makes any sense. So I'm the kind of person, and probably this is Shaitan whispering to me, but I was like, well, I need to learn everything about this religion. I need to be perfect. Like, now that I believe it, I need to be perfect, and I can't take my Shahada until I'm literally like perfect at prayer, until I know every single aspect, all of the stories of the prophets, all of everything about this religion, the holidays, everything. I was like, there's no way that I'm going to take Shahada until I literally learn all of this, because in the back of my mind, I was like, well, what if I find something that I don't believe in? But there was no question that Islam was the religion for me. And so I am speaking to Abdul one day, and I'm just like, I just don't feel like I can accept it yet. I still need to learn stuff. Like, there's so many things I do. And he just hit me with, what if you die before you take Shahada? What if you believe it, but you die and you never took Shahada? And it hit me so hard, and it hit me, and I got this big lump in my throat, and I felt nauseous, and I just couldn't imagine if I died and I didn't take Shahada. I could not imagine it. And literally the next week we went to Jummah prayer. We told the Imam that I wanted to take my Shahada, and it actually worked out that I had 2 friends who also wanted to take Shahada, which I don't speak to them anymore. I don't know why. But they took Shahada with me. So it was 3 sisters that all took it together on December 14th of 2014. So I have been Muslim almost 7 years now. And alhamdulillah, it's just literally the best decision I ever made. Like I said, it's like once I knew what the word was to describe it, I swear it was like, that is what I have felt my whole life. It felt just like clarity.
Stop making the Amazon sellers rich. I hate to tell you this, but every time you
like, this was everything that I was missing. That this is what it's called. That feeling in my heart, that iman, that feeling of just love for your creator and fascination with his creation. This has a name, and it's Islam. And I can't believe that I found it, you know, and that God guided me to it, and that you know, Allah had mercy on me and exposed me to it and put those people, each person so perfect, into my life. Even to this day, every person serves a purpose to you, and you serve a purpose to every person in their journey. And it's just incredible. Subhanallah, it is just incredible. So, took my Shahada. Everything's fine. I'm so excited. I'm crying. The sisters are hugging me and everyone's shouting takbir, and it's just amazing. And then it's just like a reality of like, wow, I've just accepted an entire religion. And honestly, I know a lot of reverts feel this, but you have that and then you just kind of like maybe don't have the community, or you maybe don't have the people. And that's kind of what happened to me. So I still had Abdul, but they were graduating, and so they were going to go back home to Saudi Arabia, and I didn't know a single Muslim. And our masjid is only open for Jummah prayers. It's always been like that, and it makes me so incredibly sad, and I wish that they were open, and I don't know why they're not open for every single prayer, but they're only open for Jummah. And so literally it's like no community whatsoever. It's such a small portion of Muslims in this country, or in this city, and it just kind of felt like when Abdul and his friends went home, I lost the light in that community, and it was really hard for me. And I struggled really hard with my religion at that point, because I was like, this is all new. I don't know anything. I don't know the questions I'm supposed to be asking. I need to get some books. Excuse me. I need to focus on what I need to be focused on, but I don't know what I need to focus on. So that is like my biggest encouragement, is if you're thinking about reverting to Islam, make sure that you have books that will identify things that you don't even know that you need to know about. And if you can, really immerse yourself in a mosque that you have next to you, or resources that you have. And the biggest help that I have had since becoming Muslim is Yaqeen Institute and Imam Omar Suleiman. Oh, may Allah reward him Jannatul Firdaus, because literally that entire channel is life-changing, and you just learn an immense amount of knowledge every time you watch a video from them.
Yeah, brothers and sisters, the video was informational. Sister Ashley explained the challenges being alone in a community. When you become a Muslim, as a new Muslim, you struggle a lot. And I think the sister explained everything in details, and I don't have to add too much into it. But if you are, I just want to talk about the mosque. She said it was closed any other day except Jummah. So those people who are coming to Jummah prayer, where are they coming from? If the mosque is closed any other day, I don't get it. You know, I didn't understand that. Okay, brothers and sisters, I have to end this video, and I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.